is an example of a non-native thistle. We have bull, Canadian, and this is an example of a musk thistle. You can tell that it's a musk thistle because of the pointiness of the leaves and the jagged edges, as well as the pointiness on the stem. You can tell the difference between a native and a non-native thistle because a native thistle will have a more of a white underside of a leaf, where the non-natives look almost the same from top to bottom. We get rid of these thistles through spraying, pulling, or the use of goats. Alright, so this is poison hemlock. You can tell it's hemlock because one, it is tall. Then it also has these umbelled shapes with clusters of white flowers, and then it also has pinnately compound leaves, so it's going to be several leaflets per petiole. And then on the stems, you can see that it has these purple splotches on it. And this plant is very poisonous. Don't want to eat it. This is wild parsnip. It was native to Eurasia, and it's in the parsley and carrot family. Some characteristics to distinguish this one is the yellow umbel shape of the flowers, as well as the ladder type leaves, so they kind of come up in steps. A unique thing about this is that you don't want to get the sap onto your skin because the sap can create phytophotodermatitis, which reacts with the sunlight to cause burning on your skin. So it's important that when we remove these, if we are pulling them, to wear long sleeves and to wear gloves. So this is another non-native species, an invasive species. It is Multiflora rose. It is originally from Asia and was brought to the U.S. as an ornamental plant. Normally you would have white showy flowers, and that's what attracted people to bring that to the U.S. You can distinguish them by, they have these opposite leaves. They're over in pinnately compound, so they share a petiole. And then they also have these tooth leaves. They're also thorny, so you want to be careful whenever you handle these. This is an invasive species called Dame's rocket. It forms monocultures that outcompete the native plant life so that there's less for wildlife. This has a native look-alike in wild phlox, but the main difference is that Dame's rocket has 4 petals, where wild phlox has 5 petals. An easy way to remember this is Dame's has 4 letters and phlox has 5 letters. This is a biannual, so in the first year it will only be a rosette, but in the second year is when it starts to flower. Flowers can range from anywhere between a white and a purple coloring. So this is a honeysuckle. It's one of our invasive species here. It's originally from Eurasia and was brought as ornamentals for soil erosion, but we quickly learned that it was very invasive and spread very quickly. So some key characteristics of the honeysuckle is that they will have these entire leaves, so no jagged, and that they are opposite from each other. Unfortunately, this plant isn't flowering. Normally they have white or pink flowers, but a way to distinguish them from native honeysuckles is if you look at the hollow part of the stem, the invasive species will be brown versus the native species will have a lighter colored tip.